Right friends, welcome back to Questions and Answers Advanced. This is the 45th week from 2nd November to 8th November, and we are going to discuss some questions which require much deeper understanding or conceptual thought is required. Look at the first question. There are three sentences given. The first sentence is, the international trademark for Khadi was processed on December 2, 2014. You may ask, what is a trademark? You are all familiar about the cool drink Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and that is a particular trademark. You cannot prepare cool drink and mark it as Coca-Cola or Pepsi because they are specified marks, or you can say they are brand names, and their trademark is they are entitled to manufacture and sell the product with that name. So, trademark is the authority given and no one else can use that particular brand, and this can be at the national level and international level. That means the trademark can be within the country or it can be trademarked in other countries. The first sentence is, the international trademark for Khadi was processed on December 2, 2014. This is the right sentence, and within the national level for trademarks, I am talking about India. Within India for trademarks, there is an organization, Office of the Registrar of Trademarks. Office of the Registrar of Trademarks. This is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, and it is under the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks. Let me repeat you once again, the trademarks in our country are monitored by the Office of the Registrar of Trademarks, which is under Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks, under the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, right? This is the authority pertaining to trademarks in our country. But for international trademarks, the organization vested with powers is World Intellectual Property Organization. This World Intellectual Property Organization is the specialized agency of United Nations based in Geneva, Switzerland, and under the Madrid Protocol, you can directly apply to WIPO so as to get a trademark in several countries, probably more than 90 countries you can get by applying to World Intellectual Property Organization or WIPO. So, if you want international trademark, there are two ways. You can apply to each and individual country for trademark, or you can directly apply to World Intellectual Property Organization to get international trademark in several countries at once, right? That is as per Madrid system, or you can say Madrid Protocol. So, look at the sentences. The international trademark for Khadi was processed on December 2, 2014 is the right sentence. Khadi would like to get the international trademark. World Intellectual Property Organization is the world body which grants international trademark. This is also the right sentence, but the third sentence is wrong. That is WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, is based in Geneva, Switzerland, but not in New York. Please correct the third sentence. So, 1 and 2 are the right sentences. So, the right option is 1. Look into the next one. There are views and counter views on GM crops. You may ask, what is GM crop? GM crop is genetically modified crop. Here, a foreign gene, or you can say a stretch of DNA, is introduced into the cell. A stretch of DNA, that is the genetic material of the living organism, is introduced in a cell, that is genetic modification. That's why they are called genetically modified crops or GM crops. First sentence is right. Second one is, there are issues concerning health of the persons, and some people say they are harmful to the health, some people say they are not harmful, but whatever the research says, but the world is divided with regard to the GM crops, and Even in European Union also, more than half the countries are against GM crops. In European Union, all of you are well aware, there are 28 countries in European Union. More than half the countries are against the GM crops, right? So, this is the present scenario. So, the given 1 and 2 sentences are correct here. And look at the third one. In India, GM crops are being used in commercial scale for cotton and wheat. This is absolutely wrong sentence. And the GM crops are being used on commercial scale in our country for cotton only, but not for wheat. BT cotton, all of you are familiar with. So, that is the genetically modified variety of cotton, and there are different reports that some people say this BT cotton, or you can say GM crop, that is cotton, genetically modified cotton, gave results in irrigated areas but not in rain fed areas, right? So, the second sentence is correct, third sentence is wrong. Please correct the third sentence. GM crops are being used in commercial scale for cotton only, not for wheat, right? So, the right option is the one here. We will discuss more about these genetically modified crops sometime in our news analysis program shortly. Right friends, look at the next question. In the e-auctions conducted, most of the things are now being done in electronic way. So, in the recent e-auctions conducted by NTPC for 500 megawatt solar power plant, SunEdison is the company belonging to United States of America. SunEdison quoted 4 rupees 63 paise per unit of power. Here the question is, SunEdison belongs to, this company is the solar energy major of United States of America. That is the one aspect. And the second aspect which I would like to tell you is, for the first time the unit cost of solar power came down to below 5 rupees. Previously it used to be 10 rupees, 12 rupees, 9 rupees, 8 rupees. It is coming down gradually, and for the first time the quoted rate comes to rupees 4.63 per unit, and it may come down further, and because of this in future this solar power may become the norm at many places across the world, right? So, the answer here is USA. And the interesting point to note down is the cost of solar power is getting reduced day by day because of the reduction in the cost of photovoltaic cells. Look into the next one. Union Cabinet cleared reform package for loss-making electricity utilities. In our country, unfortunately, this electricity distribution companies are into major losses. There is a lot of theft in rural areas. Second important point is, many states are giving free power to farmers or subsidized power to farmers, due to which lot of wastage is taking place. Third is, metering is not there at several places. If metering is there, meters are deliberately made to not function. Under these circumstances and because of political interferences, several state electricity distribution companies are under severe loss. Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, these have accumulated major losses, and the total debt of the electricity distribution companies stands at 4.3 lakh crores as on September 30, 2015. Under these circumstances, previously government tried to bring these distribution companies out of losses. Now, for the third time after 2000, central government came up with this program. This you can say carrot and stick policy. That means we will help you, but be tough, reduce the losses, reduce pilferage, reduce theft, don't give much subsidies. Please follow these things. If you follow these things, we will help you out. That is the message given by the central government to state distribution companies, and this is basically for taking over the debt of the distribution companies by the state governments. Electricity distribution companies are into losses, and the accumulated debt is to be taken over by the state governments. That is the main purpose of this program, which is known as UDAY. The name of the program is UDAY. UDAY means Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana. Discom means distribution companies. UDAY is Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana. So, I will stop my discussion here, and if you want more, please listen to news analysis and features of this week to deliberate on these aspects in detail. Right friends, look into the next one. Minimum support prices of pulses during the Rabi season increased by rupees 250 a quintal, and additional bonus of rupees 75 will also be given. The decision was taken by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. 2-3 important points I would like to tell you. Minimum support price for various crops during Rabi and Kharif seasons. At present, there are around 25 crops for which minimum support price is announced by the government. These minimum support prices are announced so as to protect the farmer if there is bumper crop. If there is bumper crop, there is a very likelihood of prices going down. To protect the farmer, this minimum support price is announced, and for announcing this minimum support price, the recommendations will be given by Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. Please remember, Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, or CACP, under the Ministry of Agriculture will recommend minimum support prices, and Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs will take the decision. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs will take the decision with regard to minimum support price, and bonus can be decided on their own without giving any cognizance to Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. Only Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices will recommend minimum support price, and if government or CCEA thinks that bonus can also be given, they will take their own decision, right? So, here minimum support price of pulses increased by rupees 250 a quintal, and additional bonus was also decided by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. So, when someone asks you about minimum support prices, these are recommended by Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, and the final decision will be taken by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Swachh Bharat cess of 0.5% is proposed on service tax on the services, and please don't forget, service tax is indirect tax, just like excise duty or customs duty. Excise, customs, service tax, these are indirect taxes. If you go to some 4-star hotel or 5-star hotel, you are required to pay service tax. So, poor and rich, everyone will be affected alike due to service tax or due to indirect tax. And in the service tax, additional 0.5% cess will be collected from November 15th, that is Swachh Bharat cess. So, 14% is the present service tax. More than that, one has to pay 0.5% additional as Swachh Bharat cess. And because of this, for entire financial year, government is expected to get rupees 10,000 crores of rupees. But for this year, because this is being introduced from November 15, during the remaining 4.5 months, government is expected to get around 3,800 crores of rupees. right? So 0.5% is the Swachh Bharat cess, please don't forget. Regional connectivity fund pertains to, last week we deliberated in detail about regional connectivity fund. This pertains to airline sector. When you are traveling between Delhi, Mumbai, when you are traveling to Los Angeles, you are required to pay 2% regional connectivity fund. You have to pay 2% for regional connectivity fund, and this amount will be used to connect interior areas. In our country, several airports are not operational, and government wants to ensure air travel to remotest parts of the country, and for that purpose it restricted rupees 2500 per 1 hour of air travel to remotest locations, and if airlines incur losses, then that will be recouped through this regional connectivity fund. That means when you are traveling between big cities and when you are traveling abroad, 2% cess will be collected from you, which will be used to connect interior places of the country. That means rich man will pay for the services for poor man, right? So the regional connectivity fund pertains to airline sector. There is escalation of tensions when US ship Lassen entered within 12 nautical miles of Juby Reef area. Juby Reef is in South China Sea. Please look into this picture. South China Sea, there are claims and counterclaims over several islands. One such island is Spratly Islands. Please look into this picture. Other one is Paracel Islands, then Scarborough Shoal, then Juby Reef, or sometimes it is called Subi Reef. So these are the disputed territories. China claims these territories, and the countries like Philippines, countries like Vietnam, Brunei, then Taiwan, they have also claims over these islands, and as Juby Reef is claimed by China, which is not recognized by United States of America, its ship entered within 12 nautical miles. Why 12 nautical miles? As per the United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea, up to 12 nautical miles, 12 nautical miles is roughly 22 kilometers from the baseline of land, up to 22 kilometers, the country can frame their own laws in waters. As Juby Reef is claimed by China but not accepted by other countries, so America feels that it is not the territorial waters of China, but China says Juby Reef is mine, that's why it is my territorial water, and it can frame its own laws within territorial waters. But when America disputes the claim of China with regard to the ownership of islands, that's why this American ship entered the Juby Reef, right? So here these islands are disputed islands. Several countries claim these islands. Sierra Leone was declared Ebola free. A country will be declared Ebola free when there is no new infection for at least 42 days is the answer. Previously, Nigeria was declared Ebola free, then Liberia, and please don't forget, Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone, these three are the worst affected countries. Probably in 2014 because of Ebola, thousands of lives were lost. And Ebola is the name of the river, and Ebola disease first identified in the year 1976 in Sudan. At present it is part of South Sudan. Not only that, in Zaire, the country which is now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo, in these two countries, Ebola was first identified in the year 1976, resurfaced in the year 2013, and in the year 2014 it claimed several lives in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, in West Africa, and now one of that country, that is Sierra Leone, is declared Ebola free by World Health Organization. A country will be declared Ebola free when there is no new infection for 42 days, because the incubation period of Ebola virus is 21 days. They will see for 2 incubation periods. If there is no new virus detected for 2 incubation periods, that is declared free of that particular disease. Now Ebola is declared free of that disease. After 42 days, there was no new infection in the country. Right, the answer here is 42 days, and the country we are talking about is Sierra Leone. Nepal decided to airlift fuel supplies, especially aviation turbine fuel, from Bangladesh. What a irony for the country which has got lot of land routes to India, but unfortunately the land routes were blocked. India blames Nepal, Nepal blames India, and they are getting fuel supplies from China through land route, and aviation turbine fuel they are airlifting from Bangladesh. And these are the pointers which may spoil the relations in future between India and Nepal. And India should do immediate steps to restore faith of the Nepalis, and the mistrust is to be removed as early as possible. Otherwise, we may be losing a trusted friend. And with regard to the situation in Nepal, we deliberated in detail in the news analysis program of 44th week. Please listen to it. Right friends, with this let us conclude questions and answers advanced. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.